Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. This is Michael Voss, Dragon of the Southern Tier, and I am here with you at No Soundbites Allowed. I thank you for joining us today. And today we have a very interesting episode. This is going to be a live event. This is on August 11th. It's a little bit later in the day. Earlier in the day, there was a Back the Blue event in Binghamton, New York, which I happen to be hosting, one of the co-creators of the event. That event was invaded by Black Lives Matters and members of PLOT, Progressive Leaders of Tomorrow. And this was not just a counter-protest. This was an expression of fear. And I want to be very clear. This wasn't fear for those who were attending and supporting law enforcement in Binghamton, Broome County, and across the nation. No, this was the fear of Black Lives Matters and Progressive Leaders of Tomorrow when anyone comes up with an idea, makes a statement, or takes a stand that they don't agree with. They were terrified that you would hear this. They were terrified that you would hear what was being said and not agree with them. They seemed to be unable to abide by the simple standard in America that we all have free will and that we can make our own choices and we can speak our mind, as guaranteed by the Constitution and the First Amendment, something they rely on heavily when they're trying to put out their message and something they completely ignore when others try to put out their messages. Now, rather than say anything else, and I will include links in the video for the news media coverage of the event. But what I'm going to show you now is a slightly abbreviated version of everything that happened, cutting out any of the in-between empty spots where nothing was being spoken. But that entire video does exist unedited on Facebook, and you can see it there. But for YouTube, I'm going to basically just cut to the relevant portions and allow you to see everything that is actually relevant, where conversation was actually being had. I hope you enjoy it. It's a little different than the normal long-form political commentary that I do. This was a non-political event. I want to be very clear. It was advertised. The press release was sent out stating this is a non-political event. But BLM and PLOT, because of their fear, made it political. But you can see for yourself and you can judge for yourself on exactly what happened. I thank you for taking the time to see this and to see what's really going on out there without edit. So without another thing being said, let me show you what happened.
Hey everyone. It's Michael here, and we're about to get started, and it seems that we've got the volleyball league with us, and that's great, as long as they stay on the side and respectfully protest by holding their signs and allowing us to speak. We're going to have a great time, because that's what they would ask of anyone else when someone's at their event. So I hope they have that same respect. We'll be starting very shortly. We're going to keep the camera on. We're going to stay live. And whether we have 100 people come down, we have a few, there's COVID, so don't worry about it. We're going to have a great event. And no, I don't have a mask because I'm over 6 feet away from everyone that's around me, and I'm outdoors. Otherwise, I would.
But people should wear them.
But we will be going over that as the event starts. So we're going to stay live, and we'll talk to you again very soon.
Doing the event, but I don't know who you are. You're running for something?
I'm Michael Vasquez.
Yes.
Okay.
How are
I'm
you?
running for legislature, but this is not a political event.
Good, good.
But I am running for legislature for the 13th.
Oh, brother.
So that's one of the city districts.
Yes. It's actually the county legislature, but it's one of 2 districts that's actually in the city. And so that's basically from the bridge to the arch, Riverside, almost Riverside, all the way up to that's the 13th.
Yeah. I wish you ordered from us.
What?
I wish you ordered from us. Well, it's funny because I showed up about a half hour ago, and we were talking about it when I left the house.
Okay, I thought you
In your head. Well, no, it wasn't. That's what we said. We were going It said 6 o'clock, and I called up later. I said, no, I'll do it 5:15. I'll do it before. I don't know how long that is. So it's just Tuesday morning. My daughter's moving. That's okay. I'll take the water. That's fine. No, good.
No.
Somebody's car.
You sure you don't want to?
As long as they're quiet, I don't care.
I want to water.
They're right. They can do whatever they want. As long as they don't impede us. Can everyone hear me back there? Yes. Everyone good? Okay. Thank you, Peanut Gallery. So, hello everyone, and thank you for joining. As you can see, we're here with, So folks, we're here together today to back the blue, which is in other words, to back law enforcement, which is part of our First Amendment right to be able to speak our minds. Now, there are some people who disagree with that. There are some people who believe you shouldn't be able to speak out, that you shouldn't have your voice heard. I disagree with that, and they will not stop us. They cannot silence our voices, and as much as they would like to, we're going to keep going. Because that's our right by the Constitution, which they may not have read, but that's okay. Now, this is not supposed to be a political event. Some people would like it to be such. What this is a celebration of our law enforcement. Here in the city of Binghamton, as well as across the nation, we see that our law enforcement, every day, do a wonderful job of protecting all of us, them as well as us, to make sure that we're all safe, that we all live together in a society, and that our community grows and is strong. And as I was saying just a few moments ago to the media, that is one of the things we should always celebrate. We shouldn't need a special moment like this, but let's take the opportunity to do this while we can. Please, why don't you come on up? Go on up. Bring your First Amendment right forward. And stand there. And please, while you're here, listen. You may learn something. So, right now in America, we have a lot of difficulty. We have some divisions out there. But you know what? America is bigger and stronger than that. And one of the things that we have to remember is our law enforcement is here every day, whether we have those divisions or not. They have been here as long as America's been here, and they protect our rights. Now, I don't know if many people realize, since 1924 in Binghamton, 7 officers have given the ultimate sacrifice for our community. They gave their lives. The most recent of which is Lee Barda, which is why we have the Lee Barda Center on the north side. It's an important thing to remember that our law enforcement love us so much, regardless of our color, regardless of our race, creed, religion. They are here to protect us every day because they've made the choice that we are worth it. And I thank them for that. I commend them for that. You know, there's over 900,000 officers in the United States. There's 330 million people in the United States. There are over 1 million interactions with police every day. And our country is safe because of it. And people like those behind me are protected every day. So I want to take a moment. We're going to be talking about a few things. Again, this is not political. Homicide. By the Scott Andrews, who is a member of Black Lives Matter and Plot. And I see he's out from jail. He was released from his arrest on the Columbus Day Parade. So besides, thank you for joining us. But I see your disrespect of your fellow citizens continues. It will not stop. So we have several people who are going to speak today. The first person I want to introduce to you is a veteran and another member of our community, Vic Furman. Vic. Now, Vic. Don't let him stop you. Come on. We're going to keep going. He's not important. His rudeness is not a problem. Everybody, I want you to think this is Vic Furman speaking with us here today. Go ahead.
I have a dream that this shit stops. Listen, my son is a police officer, and he has pulled your families from burning cars. He has stopped criminals from robbing their houses, selling drugs to your kids, and he has never killed one person. Never. Now, I had a speech written for today. I had a speech written for today that talks about police. I had a speech written today that talked about how our police are defenders of the community and how those who don't want the community defenders are mostly criminals themselves. There is no reason for you to be afraid of a cop if you're compliant with a cop. When you get stopped and pull a gun, when you get stopped and give a cop a finger, you're showing him a total lack of respect, and the fact that not having respect for that police officer is putting his life in danger. You're showing him you're a danger to him and his job. All lives matter. In the blue line, you have blacks, you have Puerto Ricans, you have all races in the blue line. Whether you like it or not, all lives matter, especially black lives. Thank you.
So, folks, here's a great thing to remember, and I think this is really important. I think it's critical. Is liberty, freedom, our community do not end because a very small but very loud piece of that community decide that they want their way. It's kind of like a tantrum. It doesn't stop anything. It just happens. But going beyond that, something I wanted to, there's a couple things I wanted to share with you. One of the things I wanted to share today, I don't know how many people may realize, since the Binghamton Police Force added the body cams, there have been 0 complaints that have gone through against our police. Because every single time a complaint comes and the video is reviewed on the body cam, we found every single time there is no justification for it. And that's something that's important about our officers and our law enforcement in this city. They are doing such an excellent job of protecting our people and protecting our community that they haven't actually had any complaints. Nothing that is true. And one of the reasons why I'm here today is because I own a home, just a few blocks away from me. One night, a few years ago, I was sitting in my house with my friends. It was a Saturday night. It was about 4 a.m, and I was awakened because somebody was trying to break into my house. That person was eventually did make it into the door, broke it down. Now, I had already called the police at that point. In the 3 minutes it took our officers to be able to come over to my home, that man had come in, had rushed up the stairs, and was trying to break down the final door that I had protecting myself and two friends, one of which was pregnant. They were there in 3 minutes to protect our lives and to save us. You know what? I thank law enforcement for being there that Saturday to protect my life. Because too often we think of law enforcement as someone who shows up after the fact to punish lawbreakers. Well, often they're there beforehand. They're there to stop the crime before it happens. And they do that every day. They do it very well. So I wanted to share that thought because I think it's incredibly important. And when these people behind me, even Miss Cy Andrews, when they go and they have a problem, they're going to call the law enforcement and they're going to show up for them too. Because they should. Because that's what they do. Because they love our community. They love us more than they disagree with us. And that's why I stand by our law enforcement. That's why I think we all should stand by our law enforcement. Because they do a phenomenal job. And they love us. And we love them. It does distract a little. It is a little harder, but you know what? This is nothing compared to the challenge of trying to deal with a meth den. This is nothing compared to the challenge of the guy who was on PCP that broke into my house and that officers had to subdue to protect my life and the life of my friends and a pregnant woman. You know what? If this is the worst thing that I have to go through, it's really nothing. But I do have to ask you, when you think about it, at the end of the day, because these people are saying they want to defund the police, and that means disband the police. Just like happened today in Seattle, where they have 100 officers, almost 10% of their police force was disbanded in an effort to defund the police. That doesn't make the community safer. And you know what? Those people, those police officers, they're still members of the community, they're still going to be there. And I know, they want to disband the police. They want to get rid of them. You have a choice. And you know what? It's them or it's our law enforcement. So I want to bring up another speaker. And the speaker's going to be Hickey. Ed? I know. By the way, Ed, they can hear us fine. This noise isn't a problem.
First of all, we should have a moment of silence for George Floyd. The man was murdered. It wasn't. Please take a second. Okay. Well, now what I want to say is, last year, according to this, there were 594 people killed by cops. In Binghamton, New York, the total is 0. And the reason the total is 0 is because we have cops that are trained to the maximum. We invest a lot of money in making sure that our police are capable, qualified, and able. And this is exactly what prevents that. There used to be 400 officers at a roll call or 400 people apply when they took on new police officers. A few years ago, that number was cut to 200 because police kind of take a hammering now. The call for employees right now, the number is 11. 11 people applying, and we need good candidates to keep good police. I appreciate the fact that you guys want to protest, and it's awesome that you can do so in America. And 594 lost lives is horrible, but we're lucky to have the police we have. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for coming out.
All right, so before anything else happens, just come back on over. Leave them. You know what? This is okay. Leave them be. You know what? Kevin. No, let him go. Come on back. I know temperatures are up. And it's understandable considering the disrespect some people have. Because, you know, they don't believe in other people having any rights. They don't believe in freedom. But that's okay, because we do. And it's fine. So, we're not going to worry about when they go around and they get to be rude. We're not going to interact with them. Because actually that's what they want. Because, you know, kids that are misbehaving want attention. But we have one other person. You want to speak? Okay, so this is unexpected. So we're going to get one more person. And all lives matter. Does that include my life? Because I'm black too. Or did you forget? A little blind?
I have to ask you, does my life matter? Does it? I'm not black. I respect all lives. And I don't care what color they are. You people are being very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. And I find that in all the lives I've been living. You have a right to protest. Do it peacefully.
No, I understand. Because peaceful protest is what's protected under First Amendment. But you know what? It's not even a factor. I thank you. Because respect goes both ways. And they make it very clear what they truly value in the actions here. But you know what I value? I value our law enforcement. I value the fact that if something were to happen here, they would be here to protect us. I value the fact that, you know what, all of our lives matter. We're Americans in America. Every single one of our lives matter. Every life behind me matters. Every life in front of me matters. Every life in America matters. Even you with your wrong side. You matter. But that's okay. And they matter not just to me, they matter to our law enforcement. Now, I want everybody who is watching this in the media, everyone who's watching this live, I want you to realize something. If you think this is bad, imagine being one of our law enforcement officers. Imagine what they go through every day with this and worse. I'm only up here for an hour. Maybe not even. And you know what? That's nothing compared to what they go through. So I thank them again. And I tell you again, they are here to protect us. And I thank everybody who's come out in support, because our law enforcement, they realize most everybody out there, they support the police. 81% of blacks and Americans support the police. This is the fringe. This is in America. You are America, and you are the police. You are law enforcement. You are America, and I love you, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for watching this, and for being part of this. You know, I'm not going to let this bother us. I'm going to sleep well at night, and you know why I'm going to sleep well tonight? Because the law enforcement of Broome County or Binghamton, they're some of the best people in the nation. Because they're going to be here for us. And I'm here for them too. I don't believe we have another speaker right now. And quite honestly, I'm not interested in giving some people the attention that they desperately want. So I'm going to end it with this, very simply. You know what? I love America. I I love our Constitution. I love and respect our police. And you know what? America loves us all, no matter what color, creed, or religion you are. Our police and our law enforcement love us all, regardless of your religion, your creed, your political beliefs. And as long as we remember those two things, all lives will be better and everyone will be well. So I thank you and I wish you the very best. My love to you all. Thank you for joining us today.
All right, folks. So, and it went on and on for a little while with that. And I stayed after the event and I spoke to several people, including the gentleman in the yellow shirt that you saw dancing through with a possibly illegal substance that he was smoking. A gentleman who later informed several people in the crowd that he was paid to appear at events like this and to help disrupt them. The gentleman with the boombox and the bald head, as I identified him in part of the video, that's Messiah Andrews. He is the leader, or one of the leaders, of PLOT, Progressive Leaders of Tomorrow. He's been arrested in creating disturbances of the public at Columbus Day during the parade and at other events. And quite possibly you could say that he was menacing in this event. But that's what they do. They disrupt. They hide. They try to silence any voice because they are terrified, fearful that someone else, that you, are going to hear something and they don't have an answer. They have emotions. They don't have answers. They are terrified that you may actually consider and think for a moment about what does a world without police look like? Because you're going to, more often than not, I think the majority of America will say it looks like Seattle or Portland or Chicago, and it looks a lot less like some kind of utopia that they want to promise you. It's not the socialist dream they're giving you. It's a set of chains. That's my opinion on that. But I wanted to share this. This is my commentary about what happened there. You've got to hear it. Were they petulant children? I believe so. Did they get their point across? There was no point, other than anyone else's voice was bad. They're talking about Black Lives Matter, but they didn't care about mine. They want black voices to matter, but they didn't care about mine. And by the way, if you're wondering, why is that? Well, as the gentleman in the yellow shirt and others, and Messiah himself have mentioned, they don't think I'm black. Not because of my birthright. No, when they see me, they know I'm black and I'm Hispanic as well. But rather, because I have the wrong political view in their idea, in their mind, then that invalidates my birthright. I am less than human because they don't agree. And that's sad. But people who are fearful, people who are terrified, like Black Lives Matter, like Progressive Leaders of Tomorrow, like Antifa, as we have just seen, they don't have anything else to work with. I feel sad for them. I truly do. I'm not afraid, and I'm not going to back down, and I will not be silenced. They don't have to agree with me. No one in America does. That's our First Amendment right. But you don't get to silence someone because you don't like it. Your feelings are not my laws or mandates. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean I have to stop. And I won't. I hope this has been insightful for you. I hope for those of you who don't live in Seattle or Portland or Chicago or New York City and the other locations, Austin, Dallas, all the other major cities across the nation, if you don't live there, if you live in a small town like Binghamton, don't believe that the violence is not still coming. Don't believe that BLM, that Progressive Leaders of Tomorrow, that the socialist democratic viewpoints, that they don't have an impact in your home too. They may not be there yet, but they're coming. And they want to be the same kind of violent, terrified children that we've seen everywhere else. And the best way to combat that is through speaking, in not backing down and standing by your convictions. Because they don't know what to do then. Most children don't. Not when they're faced with an adult and rational thought. I thank you for listening to this. If you have any comments and thoughts of your own on this, you can, of course, leave a message in the YouTube description, the video comments. You can leave a comment on Facebook. You can, of course, also leave us a text at 607-242-1582. Our regular program will be on Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to speaking with you all. I hope that you're going to have a great day. And for those who are worried, I'm perfectly safe. I'm okay, and I am not afraid. Thank you.